Hey girl, hey, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Misha. Thank you guys for joining me yet again for another review. We are back with a brand new review for The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Season 12, Episode 11, The Weight of Words. If you are new here, then welcome. I give lighthearted reviews with a little bit of laughter and a little bit of shade and a whole lot of detail. If you're back for a second or third time, then welcome back. Y'all, please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Share with a friend. Hit that notification bell so that you will be updated each and every time I upload a video. Now, y'all, let's get into it if we gonna get into it. Oh, but before we get into it, I know that I did not review last week's episode. I needed a break from Beverly Hills. I really needed a break from them. It was causing me to become too emotionally involved. And I don't like that. And plus, ain't nothing gonna be done about it, honey. So if the heifers want to get together and continue to disrespect each other, who am I to watch and critique? But this episode, I jumped back on the bandwagon. So here we go. When the episode first opens up, Dorit FaceTimes Lisa. She thinks she's playing with a vibrator. Child, ooh, honey, please. But she's really doing something with her face, and she's telling her that she's feeling a little better, but she ain't feeling that good. Because Dorit was like, I could have called you back, mama. Y'all know how Dorit like to do. So they're talking, and Dorit tells us that Rinna, Erika, and Garcelle all caught Omicron, which was the new variant of the virus. So then Rinna is asking her if she was going to Kyle's luncheon. And of course she said yes. And she's like, oh, okay, well, girl, when you get back, let me know all the gossip. And trust me, she'll call you. Moving forward. In the next scene, Kyle is at home and Jamie Lee Curtis shows up. Y'all, why did they put Kyle's friend? Bravo. This is the Jamie Lee Curtis. Honey, she does not need any introduction. When I tell you that woman's face is famous, and I remember when I was a young girl reading how beautiful her legs were, that they were insured. Her legs were actually insured. And I was like, what? I will never forget that. So, child, not you playing in our faces, talking about some Kyle's friend. Anywho, she's showing up all casually. And I'm like, her just showing up to Kyle's house like nothing. That was so awesome to me. I was just like, hey, Jamie. Now, Kyle get on my nervous system. But one thing about Kyle, she's going to bring you a superstar as a guest. She knows the who's who of Beverly Hills or California in general. Okay, she does know. She's in with the in crowd. So I think that's why they keep Kyle, because Kyle will hit you with someone you weren't expecting. And I just love that about this franchise. There's a lot of star moments. Moving forward. So, of course, Kyle is all frantic per usual, honey. You know, she can't put nothing together without losing her mind. And she's talking about her gray hairs. Jamie Lee Curtis doesn't care anything about the superficial bull crap. She's like, girl, I don't care about those gray hairs. You look wonderful, okay? I just care about your heart. And that's that. So Kyle tells us that she's known Jamie since 1978 when they did the very first Halloween movie together. Fun fact about me. Halloween is my all-time favorite horror, scary, however you name it, scary movie of all time. Something about Michael just showing up without having to run or without having to do anything. You just turn around and he's there. He never says anything. You don't even have to have the same person play Michael, as long as you have the white mask and the overalls. When I tell you there's something so damn scary about Michael Myers, and the fact that it's just Halloween night, I mean, I just love that movie. I really do. Every last one of them. So anyway, that's just a side note. So Kyle is doing a fundraiser for Jamie's charity called My Hand in Yours, where 100% of the proceeds go to hospitals. And I think that's beautiful. So all the ladies start to arrive, right? And Diana made her way to Beverly Hills. I wonder if she had to use the GPS this time. So then Cherie shows up. And baby, Jamie tried to hit Cherie with the fist pump. Cherie said, oh no, I'm a hugger. Baby, Cherie was like, this is Jamie Lee Curtis, honey. Bring it in, honey. Bring it in. I personally don't do hugs at this time, so I understand why Jamie was a little bit apprehensive and she didn't go in for that. I felt like that was very respectful, but after Jamie realized that the heifers was hugging, she was like, oh, okay, hugs for all. So then the other ladies arrive. Sutton isn't there 5 minutes, and Diana Jenkins is like, I'm not here for Sutton, and I don't think she's here for you either. She really doesn't care. She isn't thinking about you. She just walked in the door. You should be thanking her, because otherwise you would have no storyline. I'm just saying. So then Dorit shows up. Hey, girl. And Jamie is like, hey, can I hug you? Child, Sheree done started so Sheree done started something now. So they go in to sit down for lunch, and Sutton is seated by Diana. Kyle knew exactly what she was doing, always starting some mess. But she did end up switching the seat with Sheree. So I'm looking at this and I'm like, you know what? Sheree is really in the mix. Because Garcelle isn't even there, but Sheree is present. So it's giving me a foreshadowing of what's to come for next season. Let me find out Sheree gonna be holding the diamond. Child, let's get into it. So as they're ordering, Sutton is gluing these lashes back on Sheree's face at the table. Baby, that is so tacky to me. This is a mess. And why I gotta be Sheree with the wonky eyelash? Just why? And why does it have to be Sutton putting it on? So Jamie is looking, honey, and she looks petrified. And she's like, what's going on? What's happening here? Okay, all right. Sutton has glued Sheree's eyes shut. So Jamie gets up because she has to come and save the day. And she gets up and goes around and she's like, move, move, move. I got it. Here's Kyle. Get your hands off of her. Kyle, shut up. I don't understand why you treat Sutton this way. Sutton, okay? I know you're not going to never hear this review. Kyle is not your friend. She's not. She doesn't like you. I don't know why she keeps you around, but she doesn't like you. So Kyle is trying to be on her best behavior because, you know, Jamie is in the building. But my question is this. Sheree, why didn't you go to the restroom to put that lash on? Girl, you know they already talking, honey. Don't be that one at the table trying to put your eyelash on with this eyelash glue. So over at the other end of the table, Dorit is talking to Diana Jenkins, asking how the lunch with Sutton went. And she was like, it went terrible. Yes, because you're childish. That's why it went terrible. Now, although I did not review that episode, I did watch it. And I was very upset from beginning to end. So that's why I decided to opt out of that episode. But you're childish. Repeating the same thing back and forth and back is childish. You refuse to let this imaginary beef go. I don't even know how y'all ended up at odds. Like, I really don't. I remember you initially being introduced to us when Rinna fell flat trying to prove that Sutton was lying about a table, and you've been hating Sutton ever since. And quiet as it's kept, Rinna brought you here and dropped you off to take Sutton down, but it ain't working. Okay, we don't like you. Moving forward. So the ladies' lunch comes out, right? And Jamie is explaining why they're there. And she's showing them her my hand and yours items. And baby, Dorit can barely eat, honey. Her face is so far up Jamie's behind. Dorit, come down for some air, honey. She's like, oh my gosh. I mean, incredible. Wow. Look at those. That's chic. That's hot. It's giving very much Paris Hilton. It's like, okay, Dorit, we get it. You're fanning out over Jamie. We get it. We get it, honey. But if you say chic one more time, I mean, Jamie could have literally plucked a hair from her head and presented it as my hand in yours. This is the my hair hand in yours on my website. And Dorit would have been like, oh my God. And it's gray. Oh, how chic. Oh, Bubba's gonna love it. These apples crazy. Oh, they crazy. Meanwhile, Diana is down there licking her lips. Ugh, yuck. So Kyle then tells them that she's giving $25,000 to Children's Hospital for their fund, and Diana is going to match that. Now I'm looking at the table, and maybe the donations had already been made prior, or maybe they're doing them in secret, because, you know, sometimes you don't want to tell exactly what you're doing, and, you know, when you're doing it. But I was just shocked that nobody else said, and I'll match that, and I'll match that, and I'll give my donation. I just was surprised that this table full of wealth, no one else said anything. So anyway, the luncheon is over and the ladies are dispersing. Dorit is on the couch with Sutton and Sheree. So Dorit asks Sutton about the lunch as well. Why are you so invested, Dorit? Just being messy. So Sutton is like, well, you know, she's angry. So Sheree goes, Sutton, why are you always in trouble? She's like, because I say what I think. Sheree goes, well, how is that working for you? I'd say it's working for her fine, if you ask me. I love that Sutton doesn't subscribe to group thinking. She's a bit socially awkward at times, but all of them have put their foot in their mouths a time or two. I like the fact that Sutton is Sutton. Like, she doesn't have to do and say everything that they think she should do and say. They try to dictate her behavior. That's what's happening. So she's like, well, it's not working out that great. So, I'm just going to be quiet. And y'all going to miss me. Y'all ain't going to have nothing to talk about if I be quiet. They sure are not, because, honey, you have been the entire season. If they not fussing and fighting with you or taking turns fussing and fighting with you, then we have Erika and her ignorance. And I guess they were trying to take a break from her and then put the heat on you. But if you stop talking, then we'll have to focus on Erika. And I don't know if I'm ready for all that. So, Sutton, please continue to speak your speech. Moving forward. So Cherie brings up Sutton saying something to Diana at her lowest point, and Sutton is like, well, she mocked me as well. So then Dorit goes, well, you question her bed rest. So did Garcelle. She chose not to like Sutton. Nothing she can say or do is going to change that. And I don't know why y'all don't see that. So Dorit was like in her confessional, I feel like it's a pattern, and Sutton always thinks about Sutton. Dorit, that is laughable coming from you. Every scene this season has been about your faux robbery, you feeling bad. You didn't even want Sutton to have press at her event because you felt that it affected you when it was her event. So how on earth does Sutton make everything all about her? Because she was not in the fetal position when you had said robbery? Girl gone. So Dorit is like, well, do you want to try and fix it? She tried. Okay, what more do you want her to do? I don't want her to try to fix it anymore. I really don't. Leave it alone. The lady doesn't like you. Stop begging for her stamp of approval. And that's that on that. Now listen to me, y'all. The next part of the review may be a little triggering for some. So if you have any issues with food, or there are any disorders that or conversations that trigger you when speaking about someone with an eating disorder, I advise you to go ahead and click off of the review, because this part is all about Crystal. And I just wanted to make sure that I respect my subs and anybody that might be listening in. Now let's continue. Over on the other side at the bar with Kyle and Crystal and Diana Jenkins, they're asking how, Crystal is, because Kyle saw her post about her eating disorder. Kyle wants to know if the disorder is about her controlling things or her appearance, or like, what is it about? Crystal says it's just about control. She said, it's not about my appearance. It's like an internal thing. She said, I took a picture during the holiday season, which is a tough time for her because there's so much food around. She's like, and I didn't like the way that I looked in the picture. So I just decided to be transparent on social media. So then Kyle starts asking, does she binge eat, or does she eat very little and then she throws it up? She's like, well, you're asking the tough questions. So Kyle said, I'm asking you because I know, because I've been through that. Oh, okay. So you can give a relatable response when it comes to something that someone is going through, but all hell breaks loose if Sutton tries to relate to someone with what she's going through. Kyle says she suffered from an eating disorder as well. And she did tell us that a few seasons back. She said she would eat very little, and then she would worry about the little that she did eat. And I know that has to be tough, being in the public eye and living where they live. It's all about the aesthetic. So if you don't keep up, and if you don't have the latest fashions, and you're not looking the part, that can weigh heavily on you. So I understand that these women are under a microscope, and that makes it even more tough. So Crystal was like, I just worry about everything that I eat, and I never order pasta because of that, but I do envy people that do. I cannot imagine how that must feel. I just really cannot imagine. But women already have such a tough time, and it's hard when you're on a public platform with such a big problem and there's nothing that you can do to control it or help yourself. I really feel for Crystal. So she tells us it started when she was 11, and she would always be, right in the center of every school picture, and she would always be the different looking one. So she worked very hard to accept it, but being in her body, it just sucks. Like, it's just not a good feeling. So she starts to get really emotional because she wants to be okay, but she's not. Oh, well, Crystal, I respect your transparency, and I feel really bad for you. And I feel like you speaking out will help other women or young girls that watch this show that are going through something similar. And I have to say that you look beautiful, okay? Even though I'm sure it won't mean much to you because you have to feel good about yourself, you look perfectly fine. You really do. I did hear, and I don't know if this is true, I heard that hypnotherapy works when it comes to eating disorders. I did. I read that somewhere. I'm not sure where, but I read that hypnotherapy works. Maybe Crystal could try that. I'm just saying, honey, it's better than what Erika offers her at the end of the episode. Moving forward. So she doesn't want to talk about it any longer because she's like, you know what? Let's just go back in with the other ladies. We've been gone for a long time. I don't want them worrying about us. So they go back in with the other heifers. And Kyle is like, so what were y'all talking about when we were gone? I hate when they do that. Because in real life, don't ask me what I was talking about when you were not present. If I wanted you to know, I would repeat said conversation. So they tell them that they were talking about the lunch. Sutton said Diana isn't ready to accept her apology. Kyle is like, she's right there. She knows she's right there. She's going to be ignored, so she's just speaking to the room. Like, so what? She's right there. Even if she did speak to Diana, she won't accept it. Sutton, please stop trying with this lady. Please. So Sutton is like, I don't think she's ready to ponder a friendship. So Diana explains her side and how her miscarriage was recent and she went to Mexico. She tried to have fun, but she just really overdid it. She's like, I'm very raw with my emotions right now. I hear you, Diana, but she has apologized to you profusely and you continue to be mad. So at this point, you just want a problem. She's like, Sutton should know better than to talk to me like this. I'm so sick of this lady speaking, child. Let's continue. So Sutton was like, I was trying to connect to her and she takes ownership for her part in it. I'm over it, honey. I'm over that. I'm over Diana and I'm over this. Moving forward. In the next scene, Lisa is at home and she FaceTimes Erika. And child, that doesn't even look like Erika on this phone. Honey, who is that? Anyway, she's FaceTiming Erika and they're talking about how they're feeling after being sick. So Erika was basically saying, she gets out of isolation in 2 days, so she's going to be at Diana's house for the Christmas party. So then in the confessional, Lisa was like, yeah, Diana has a reputation for doing things in a big way, so I'm really ready for her Christmas party. Well, she definitely does have a reputation, that's for sure. So Erika tells Rinna that the holidays bring up a lot of memories from when she was with Tom, and Lisa tells her that Harry brought home the LA Times with her on the cover. Per your instruction. And you ain't fooling me. And child, not Harry being messy. So Erika goes, yeah, the magazine article is just a bunch of recycling of some old problems and some old issues. Have the old problems been solved? Have those people been paid? Oh, okay, well then it's still fresh. Okay, it's fresh and new for them. This is what pisses me off. She's like, they dehumanized me. Erika, were the victims human to you and Tom? I'm just asking. Every time Erika pulls out that violin, I get upset. And the reason why is because why are you acting like something was done to you? I don't like that. I don't like that at all. So Lisa asked if she spoke to Tom, and she said, yeah, he called when he found out that she had the virus. And she's like, sometimes when I speak to him, he's present, and sometimes he doesn't know who I am. Oh, okay, so this season you can admit to speaking to Tom. I'm just trying to keep up, honey, and making sure the car rolled 15 times. I'm just trying to make sure I keep up, honey. And is it still snowing in Pasadena? Because if so, then y'all need to take the Christmas party over that way. Moving forward. So then Lisa brings up her divorce, and Erika was like, I can't get a divorce right now because there's too much going on. And if I did get a divorce, I would have to pay Tom alimony. With what money? I'm so confused with Erika and all this red tape, child. Let's just move on. In the next scene, Diana Jenkins and her man, honey, I guess it's her man. Sure, I guess. They go to meet with the party planner for her Christmas party, and they're looking around, and Diana keeps saying how over the top she is, but you're saying you're over the top, but your scenes and your presence give me mediocre at best. So I'm just trying to figure out, how are you over the top? All you wear are fancy name brand pajamas and lick your lips back and forth and back. It's giving, here, lizard, 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 lizard. It's giving nothing. Moving forward. In the next scene, Kathy makes her appearance. Hey, girl. Hope everything's been hunky-dory. Good to see ya. So Kyle shows up to Kathy's winter wonderland, and they go outside to eat. So Kathy is telling Kyle that she's been trying to get in touch with her, but it's like pulling teeth. So Kyle goes, where's your phone? She said, I've lost it. Kathy, please. You know dang on well Kyle was going to come and she was going to ask about speaking to you, and she hasn't been able to reach you, so you used the oldest trick in the book, talking about you've been calling her. Girl, please. Sure you have. And that phone ain't lost. It's hidden. You hid that phone. So Kyle pulls out her phone and she says that she's been calling and texting and it's been going straight to voicemail. That's because you're blocked. When you call someone over and over, I bet if you grab Mauricio's phone and called Kathy, that phone would ring straight through. Moving forward. So Paula brings out these baked potatoes, right? The baked potatoes and all the fixings. So they're making caviar baked potatoes. Baby, that's some rich people if I ever did see it. That caviar is paid for by the ounce, right? Child, not a caviar baked potato. Now, Diana, this is what you call over the top. This is what over the top looks like. A regular schmegular baked potato that cost probably $4,000. Child, it'll be your own spud. So Kyle is like, I've never seen a baked potato as a main meal. Like, is this an appetizer? Oh, well, child, you better not come down south, especially in the hood, because we love a good baked potato. Child, we will cover a baked potato in a minute. Put some barbecue on top of it. We love a good baked potato. It is definitely a main meal. But I have to say this, that potato looked disgusting. Maybe because I'm not a caviar girl, but it looked gross. I was like, ooh, that looks just disgusting to me. Oh my goodness. Caviar is definitely an acquired taste. Side note, I worked for this oil and gas company, and the man that I worked for, he owned the oil and gas company. You know, oil and gas is big down in Texas. The man was rich, richer than rich, richy rich. So we go to his home for this holiday party, and there are hors d'oeuvres being served and everything. So the guy happens upon me with a tray of caviar. And I've never tried it. I've only seen it on TV. So I was like, yes, for the caviar and whatnot. Child, let me try. When I tell y'all, I said, you know what? I'm going to stick to my hot wings, honey, extra ranch, all flats. Baby, that caviar was not for me. Oh, honey, it wasn't for me, but it looked pretty. And baby, I was happy to be among the people because I aspired to have the same thing. But we ain't going to be passing around no caviar, honey, because that is not for me. So, Kyle and Kathy, they're talking and whatnot. But is it just me? Or does it seem like they only talk on camera? It's very odd. It's like Kyle doesn't really know her sister. It's so strange to me. It's like every time she visits Kathy, it's like, wow, you have that? Oh, I didn't know you did that. Do you know your sister? Girl. So it's the night of Diana Jenkins' Christmas party. Child, looks underwhelming. The girls do the standard glam FaceTime. You know how they call each other. Girl, what are you wearing? Where are you going? Oh my gosh. And Dorit isn't coming because PK tested positive. And so Erika is getting her glam and her assistant is like, do you want a drink? No, do not give her a drink. That's her problem now. So Diana and her person are coming down for the party, right? He's like, yes, to this dress. Ma'am, is that your man? Okay. So the ladies start to arrive and Renna is acting like it's the best thing she's ever seen. Calm down, Renna. She's like, oh my gosh, she really outdid herself. She put a bunch of Christmas trees up and threw up some Christmas lights. You're going to be fine. So Erika Jane arrives. Hey girl. She's like, I'm gonna have a drink. Like, I don't know if I'm gonna repeat my Garcelle thing, but I mean I might. See? Erika feels absolutely no remorse for anything. Which is why I had to take a break last week. Garcelle literally forgave her and stated it was because she gave her a compliment. I just really the compliment really wasn't a compliment. So if Garcelle is going to allow it, then go ahead. I just can't with her or Erika at this point. I can't be more upset than you. So I'm no longer invested in whatever happens with Garcelle and these heifers. Moving forward. So Erika Jane and Cherie, they're over there talking about orgasms while Crystal is over there talking to the younger people about the party and about her kids. I was like, child, these are polar opposite conversations. So Kyle shows up with the gift. You know what? They really do kiss Diana's behind. It has to be about the money because she is so uninteresting to me. Even if Diana never would have had her moments all over social media, Diana gives absolutely nothing. So Kyle tells them that Sutton tested positive, so she's not coming. How convenient. It's for the best anyway, child. You don't need to be stepping foot over Diana's threshold. It's probably for the best. So the party is underway and Kathy shows up. Oh, Kathy, no Pasadena this time. You were able to make it. Nice to see you. Go figure. Glad you could join us. So Garcelle arrives with the gift for Diana's daughter and Kathy is reunited with Kyle, aka Garcelle. Y'all remember last season when Kathy thought Garcelle was Kyle? Child, I ain't gonna never forget that. Whatever she was drinking that day, honey, it was strong. So Garcelle compliments Crystal by saying she looks thin and she's, she didn't want to take it. So Erika was like, oh, you didn't want to hear that? Like, does that make you uncomfortable? She was like, you don't feel good about it? She's like, well, the holidays and so much food. So Erika goes, okay, so I'm going to be ignorant for a second. A second? Now, we know you can be ignorant longer than that. Not just a second. So she was like, what is the problem? So Crystal says she eats, but she can't hold it. She's like, I don't want the food to sit on me. Like, I really just don't want to eat and have it just sit on me. So Erika was like, take laxatives and get rid of it. See, the ignorance lasted longer than a second. Hey, they should have kept you in quarantine. What are you talking about? Why would you help aid in continuing her eating disorder? Why would you tell her that? So in the confessional, Garcelle is like, laxatives? Erika isn't a doctor. You don't prescribe laxatives to a person with an eating disorder. Well, Garcelle, say that to her. Say that. Say, Erika, why would you say that? Pipe up. So Garcelle walks away, but Crystal is still over there, still talking to Erika for whatever reason about the disorder. And then she says, I would rather want to poop it out instead of vomiting. I'm just saying. Crystal goes, is she trying to be helpful? I don't know, Crystal. Ask her. She's right there. Y'all get on my nerves not speaking up. Ask her. Say, girl, are you trying to help me? What are you saying right now? She's like, I know she's had a few drinks. We have to stop making these excuses. Erika just says whatever Erika wants to say. Why are y'all discussing such serious things at this boring party anyway? I mean, it ain't nothing else to do. But this is not the time nor the place to discuss that. So then the server comes over with an appetizer of chicken strips and ranch. And Erika goes, no, this isn't for you. You can't have this. It's a chicken tender. Erika is such trash. That's all I got. And that was the end of the episode. I can't give her much more because she's a trash can. It's giving Oscar the Grouch. Y'all comment down below and tell me exactly what you thought about this episode. Please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And as always, stay safe, stay blessed, spread love, not germs. Peace.